Good evening. My name is Miss Doolin. Um, I have some questions that I have been asked to answer for you guys. I will be reading off to the side as my notes are off to the side, and I'm sorry about the glare on my glasses. So the first few questions I'm going to have are for cultural responsive teaching. The first question is, what are cultural influences on teaching and learning? What is cultural competence and its role in the instruction of ELs? How can ELs' culture, values, and beliefs be interrogated appropriately in the context of teaching and learning? Well, when it comes to cultural influences on teaching and learning, there are a few factors that will take place, like communication styles, student teacher relationships, and family involvement, which affects how knowledge is transmitted and perceived. Cultural competence is the ability to understand, appreciate, and interact effectively across diverse cultural di- differences. The role that it plays in the instruction of ELs are fostering a sense of belonging, enhancing engagement and motivation, and helps build strong relationships. There are different ways to integrate the EL's culture, values, and beliefs. It could be done through art, music, or even cultural kits, from Robertson, from Reading Rockets. The next question is, what is the role of cultural in students' learning, and how does school and classroom environments influence language, acquaintances, and what steps are necessary to create an inclusive environment? When it comes to the role of cultural in student learning, it is an important part. The role is shaping academic engagement behavior, the learning styles that are being used, the behaviors in the classroom, and even teacher perception and expectations. Schools and classroom environments influence language acquaintance by providing a space for exposure and practice. There are steps that need to be created to have an inclusive environment. First, open communication needs to be prioritized. That is the most important thing in my eyes. You have to have communication or nothing is going to work. You cannot expect for one thing to be done without having communication with the EL's students or even the families. You also have to have they have to have a sense of belonging. If they don't have a sense of belonging, they're not going to open up, and their skills, like active listening or inclusive language, it's not going to go anywhere. They're going to be like a recluse spider. They're going to stay hidden. They're going to not come out and be open and be the positive student that we know that they can be. The next question is, what are some strategies for supporting and celebrating cultural diversity within instructions? And what are some strategies for leveraging home language and cultural access? The biggest way to support and celebrate cultural diversity is making connections not only with the students but their families. Again, this is very important as you want to involve everyone. If you don't involve everyone, I don't see it working out. You want to make sure that you're involving the families. You want them to know what's working, what's not working, because there could be things at home that worked for them, but when they come to school, there are things that are not working, and you just need to communicate with like what is the biggest step for them. You can also interrogate diverse materials and perspectives into the curriculum, have lessons that have the students share their backgrounds and things from their cultures. From my experience, that is a big thing, is letting the students share things that happen within their culture. A big thing that I have done in the past is allow students to bring like some type of food or something from their culture. That way everyone can taste it, and like not everyone eats the same things. As long as like the allergies and everything are placed in so we know, then it's just a big sharing opportunity. The next thing is supporting the needs of ELs in the classroom. The question is, what are some strategies for representation to the different strengths, needs, and identities of EL students, including special needs? What are some opportunities and approaches to meet the social and emotional needs of ELs? When it comes to any student, the biggest, again, is building a relationship with that student. Out of all these questions, that is the most important thing, is building the relationship. You are not going to get anywhere if you're just working like a robot. You have to have some type of connection with these students. And you want to make sure you are differentiating instructions and leveraging students' strengths and identities. What is the importance of understanding the social, emotional, and cultural needs of students when establishing classroom routines and procedures? You want to have a fostering of a sense of safety, belonging, and engagement. With these three things, it can help improve academic performances, have better behaviors, and even positive learning environments for all. The next section is home and school connections. The questions are, how might family and community practices, funds of knowledge, influence language learning? Family community practices, it is more meaningful engagement for the students with connecting school learning to home languages and traditions that build strong family school partnerships. The next question is, what are some strategies to build and foster strong family communication and school partnerships? What are the effective family engagement practices that support and highlight the assets of home languages, including communication, family involvement, and providing international strategies for family VLs? And what are some inclusive community engagement practices? You want to focus on shared goals, have involvement, and collaboration is another big one. And you want to create a welcoming environment and have support and value from the home language. It could be hard if you don't know the language, but as long as you're helping them understand that it is okay to have things in their language, but they also have to know the like the English, it's okay. Like it's a big step for students. For kids that are speaking more than one language, it is a very difficult thing for them. Like American students are, learning that speak English and are trying to learn another language. It's so hard on them, and they get the opportunity to drop that class or not even take the class, while these other students that are EL learners, they have to take the class. It's a very powerful thing for them. And you want to just create a welcoming space and celebrate their cultures. Have a classroom that has signs of all of the cultures that are going to be in your classroom. Thank you for your time, and if you have any questions, you are more than welcome to email me or text me, and I will get back to you. Thank you.